If you are feeling not good enough, it's hardly surprising because you might be watching this on a social media platform that does present you with many images that are with which you unfavorably compare. I heard from Brené Brown that women use body image to berate themselves, men use weakness to berate themselves. Often we recognize that the media runs on using comparative images of both the sexes, or those two sexes, if that's your way of seeing things, that we compare unfavorably to beautiful images of women, strong men, and we're both of those genders are left feeling shortchanged by virtue of the comparison. You might not feel good enough because it's like feeling not good enough suggests that there's an ideal version of yourself. And I happen to think that that's kind of true, as in there is a latent potential. We will grow to a certain height, we can achieve a certain musculature, we can achieve certain levels of consciousness, but we consume so much negative product, so much negative data. I, to be honest, am quite cautious about the way I use media. Like, I try not to look at too much social media because I don't want to read people being negative or criticizing or gossiping or attacking me. I don't like looking at other people's lives because I sometimes feel like I'm not good enough as a result of that. But of course, like any tool, it can be positively used to create connection and to convey positive and helpful information. It's partly what I'm trying to do, as a matter of fact, is just speak about things that's beneficial, that give you the opposite feeling, the feeling that you are good enough, that you are worthy of love, that you are capable of achieving the things that you want to achieve, although you may need to address those things, look at the reasons why you want to achieve them. What are the areas of your life that you don't feel good enough in? Your relationships, your work, your anatomy. I've felt inferior in all of those areas on loads of occasions. It's getting a lot easier. It gets a lot easier the more I focus on helping other people, to tell you the truth. The more time I spend talking to other people about their problems, giving them suggestions and examples of how they might address some of those challenges, or sometimes if I don't know, just being loving to other people. If my purpose becomes to love others, then the feeling that I'm not good enough, it recedes and on occasion entirely evaporates. Part of the not feeling good enough, in my opinion, is the continual campaign for self-fulfillment through the pursuing of external goals, even if it's an external image of yourself. You are good enough. When people say the world is an illusion, they're right, you know. It's temporary. It may even literally be holographic. It certainly is only one aspect of a reality that is likely more complex than we are capable of understanding, and it is this lack of capability that prevents it from ever being understood. I mean to say, we thought the earth was flat, now we know the world is spherical. Perhaps in generations they'll say, wow, they didn't know that there were all these different frequencies of reality that you could access, all these parallel dimensions that humans can inhabit. Now we know this. How foolish they were to not feel good enough. Difficult to be somewhere between an ape and a divine creature, isn't it? I find it strange. Sometimes I'm in my monkey mind, full of my monkey needs and monkey requirements. Other times, a real bliss of connection. Other times, the pain of being a person that has spiritual longing and yearning. The way to free yourself from not feeling good enough is to recognize that the standard that you're trying to appeal to, if not arbitrary, certainly a construction of some kind. There is no absolute total version of a person that we're comparing ourselves to. Even if you're religious and think, well, I want to be more like Christ, or more like Muhammad, or more like the Buddha, or more like, what's that Chinese one? She's called, I think, Ki Jung, I can't remember her name. You'll know, she's the mother. You'll tell me in the answers to this. Nice to have an idol or a saint to aspire to, but to also recognize that these energies, these humours, these saintly attributes are latent within us. So possibly that feeling that you're not good enough is part of you communicating to your conscious mind that there are things to aspire to, but it won't be achieved through flat abs. Although I love a flat ab when I'm watching Love Island, I think, look at their lovely flat abs. And it won't be achieved through money because it's unbelievably abstract. And it won't be achieved through the pursuit of sex or the consuming of drugs. The road of excess does lead to the palace of wisdom, because you realise that excess is not the answer. You shed a lot on the way. If you feel not good enough, be careful what you consume here. Be careful what you look at online. Be careful how you participate. Be careful how you indulge those moments within you. Be careful how you attach to misery and pain. It's very easy to get quite connected to it. Like when I see real suffering and real sadness, sometimes I oddly want to possess it, parasite off it, but I recognise my role is to be supportive, nourishing and encouraging, not to try and own other people's pain. And when I'm in my pain because of my own perception, because what I believe I should have, I remember that I don't know anything, so there's nothing to rightly compare it to. And finally, if you are of service to others, you naturally begin to feel better. Hello, I'm doing these new videos more frequently now. Please hit the notification button at the end of this video, because then you'll get a little bell when I post a new video, and I'd like you to get a little bell when I post a video. Then I can, I don't know, be buzzing away in your pocket. Sounds like I'd be like a little pocket mosquito. Anyway, subscribe, click the bell, because I want more people to watch the YouTube videos. You specifically.